peak fiction. Showtime, my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shogun Zorra and thank you for tuning in. And today I want to talk about the Demon Slayer movie Infinite Castle Part 1, because this is going to be a trilogy. And yes, I was able to watch it like a few days ago thanks to a friend of mine. And yeah, the movie was freaking phenomenal. If you haven't watched the movie, please watch the movie. This is the only thing I can say without any spoilers, because it's going to be a review. So please watch the movie as fast as possible as can, because it's the best way to avoid spoilers. And yeah, please, it's really worth it. If you enjoy Demon Slayer, it's really worth it. If you don't like Demon Slayer, I mean, why do you watch this video? I'm just saying this is a good movie, but yeah, let's get started to the review. The movie starts immediately, like the intro of the movie is everybody falling into the Infinite Castle, right? And that is so crazy, because we've seen also the other characters from the final episodes of the previous season, how everybody's falling. But now we get to see all the characters falling into the Infinite Castle, and also the characters landing on the particular position and trying to meet up with other people, or trying to find Muda and the other upper moons. But one thing really cool is what happens when all the characters fall, especially when Tanjiro falls. There is one shot of the movie when Tanjiro falls. It looks so majestic, phenomenal. If I can some way how show it now, you will see it here. But this is freaking phenomenal. And also we see of course everybody running and trying to find for the Muzan and the upper moons, and you can see there are so many demons. This is ludicrous how many demons there are. Of course, and the upper moon, because there's so many demons, because they want to, of course, kill them all, and also to weaken the Hashiras, or the strong demon slayers, to wear them out. But of course, we have the demon slayer corps, the other lesser known demon slayer, trying to have the Hashiras, because they don't want the Hashiras to tire them out fighting the small fries. So the other demon slayer corps are there. So that's really cool, and I appreciate also we got to see them fight a little bit, and also they've later play also a big important role later on, which is phenomenal. And that's basically how the intro is. The intro starts, it's like really short, like before we get to the real fights. And the first fight we get to see is Doma Upper Moon 2 versus Shinobu, the Insect Hashira. So yeah, Shinobu is the first one we get to see fight, and this is the first time we see a proper fight anyone. Of course, the first time we saw her fight a little bit was when she and Tomioka Giyuu were looking for the other lesser moons, like not the upper moon, yeah, the lesser moons, right? And lesser moon 6 when they were fighting. And of course, when the fight happens, we got to see also Doma and Shinobu like a bit about the character and a bit about the past, and we can see that Shinobu is like angry, and also Doma is like a very evil individual, also even early on when he was not even a demon. But the thing is also with Shinobu is we get to see understand her character. She's always angry, and this has also been hinted in season 1 of Demon Slayer when Tanjiro and Shinobu talked, when Tanjiro was recovering after the fights, and they were talking, and then Tanjiro noticed that Shinobu, it seems like she's angry. And yeah, that's something we get to see, and also we get to see the fight. And the animation, it's just beautiful, the fight itself, how they portray Shinobu. And also Shinobu, in terms of combat speed, Shinobu is the fastest character in Demon Slayer in terms of combat speed. Not like travel speed or anything, but how fast she can strike an attack. Even Doma, being Upper Moon 2, he even noticed that she is so fast. If she was a bit stronger, then she could have easily defeated him. And yeah, this leads also later when we go more to the fight. There's so many ways that Shinobu tries to fight him, but she can't really deal a lot of damage. Basically, she tries most of the time with poison, but it doesn't really help because Doma neutralizes really quickly, and also leads also to the backstory why she was also very eager to fight Doma, because Doma is the one who killed her sister and everything, and also she wished she was also bigger, because even the sister of Shinobu, the I think she was a flower Hashira. She was petite, but still was taller and taller than Shinobu. But she wished if she was a bit taller, a bit stronger, then she would. If she was taller, then she could have had more muscle on her and then easily kill a demon. But Doma, I wouldn't say if she was taller, she wouldn't necessarily done it. But there were so many moments where, like, if she was like, with the combat speed, she had like a way better chance, or at least better chance to hold out until someone comes to help with her. And she was the only one fighting. And yeah, and the fight was phenomenal. We get to see her more of it, breathing, insect breathing, and all the different forms was really phenomenal. And of course, being alone by herself, of what she died. Doma is number 2 for a reason compared to other characters we see later on. And a lot of people were a bit disappointed, like Shinobu died so quickly on and she couldn't really do anything. And mind you, she is in raw strength, she's the weakest, but she was a Hashira for a reason. She's so, in terms of strength, she's up there with it. That's why she's a Hashira. But yeah, the only thing I would say is this: there's a reason why she was not there in the training arc with the other characters the previous season. She will still be clutch later on, but I won't say further because I won't want to spoil further for the people who have not read the manga yet. So unfortunately she died, but I feel like she had a good fight. I feel like they also extended more from the compared to the manga when it comes to anime, and they extended in the anime and the movie more than compared to the manga, because in the manga, a lot of things are way shorter than you think. So the next fight, also after we got to see characters' reaction to Shinobu dying, is Zenitsu, and Zenitsu was very, very eager to fight Kaigaku, and because yes, we know later on that in this fight that Kaigaku is the reason why his master, his grandpa, killed himself. And he did a seppuku, but there's no one there to behead him, so could have had an easy and quick death, but he suffered agony. But yeah, this was one of the most anticipated character fights, because we see for the first Zenitsu being locked in, and this was really crazy. And they added so many things in the movie compared to the manga, because the fight was relatively short, I think only a few chapters. But yeah, this fight was phenomenal. And of course, seeing Zenitsu being so serious and so fast, and Kaigaku, it was like almost like a equal fight between these two. Like Kaigaku using also we get to see for the first time the other characters using other people using thunder breathing, because Zenitsu, you only seen Zenitsu always using thunder breathing first form, 8-fold or like Godspeed. But thanks to Kaigaku, we got to see the different breathing forms. But yeah, of course the fight was good, and at the end Zenitsu did his new thunder breathing form, the 7th form, God of Thunder, Fire and Thunder, which was freaking phenomenal. I've seen so many fan edits and stuff, but this was one anticipated moment I've been waiting for to see finally get it animated, because this was amazing to see when I read this in the manga. And also the flashback between all these two characters was good. Zenitsu really technically also appreciating Kaigaku for who he is, even though he don't like him, he appreciated him, and Kaigaku being a jerk. And also it would have been really, really interesting if Kaigaku would have met Gyome, the Stone Hashira, because he's responsible in 2 different backstories in freaking Zenitsu and freaking Gyome, the Stone Hashira. It would have been really interesting seeing Gyome meeting Kaigaku, just seeing the reaction after all this stuff that happened, and now seeing him become a demon. So it would be so disappointing. But yeah, but one thing I wished in this fight between Kaigaku and Zenitsu would have been better. It was a bit longer. I mean, in the manga it was already short, but in the of course in the movie they extended it to make it really worthwhile to watch. But I wish it was a bit bigger and longer the fight. And also one thing that was really messed up is I find messed up because we have the birds like the crows going around flying and telling everyone what's happening right now, who's fighting and what's happening right now. For example, we go to thanks to the crowd, we know that Shinobu all the other characters know that Shinobu died. And also, unfortunately, when Zenitsu won against an upper moon, nothing been said. So they did really him dirty, because I would have loved to see other character reactions. What? Zenitsu alone defeat an upper moon, which is crazy. And this almost shows like Zenitsu is also like in the upper moon Hashira level ish fight. The third fight we have, of course, the most anticipated fight, the most important fight in this movie is Giyuu and Tanjiro vs Akaza. The third fight, the most anticipated fight. Let's put it out of the way. Action beyond incredible. The action is so beyond incredible, because also in they extended so much more of the characters fight, and the animation was freaking phenomenal. And the moment where the animation went beyond crazy was the moment where the action was beyond crazy was especially when Giyuu awakened his mark, and when he was talking like how he got his mark is kind of funny, because Giyuu talked like to Akaza, I can't be bothered, I don't like really fighting, and also my back hurts, because he was slammed against the wall, and then suddenly he got his mark, and that's so crazy, because we got to see, because we know like how to get in the mark when you're under high pressure and you have a BPM of over 200 and fever of 102 degrees, but he was locked in, and then the fight is so incredible. That especially that scene where there's a lot of things that's happening at once, and that's freaking phenomenal. And there's a scene where he and Akaza were fighting against each other, they're flying through all the building and even falling through the building. This was freaking phenomenal. Also Tanjiro, of course, Tanjiro was doing well. And seeing this anime being animated this is a different experience. I'm so happy that I watched it. Imagine if I didn't read the manga. I read the manga almost 5 years ago. Imagine I didn't read the manga. This would have blown my mind crazy. And also Tanjiro with the breathing inside the animation fights. Also Tanjiro was doing so well. And the moment that Tanjiro unlocked the see-through word, it looks so freaking good. Tanjiro was legit a menace. And also I think it was that moment that Tanjiro also unlocked the mark, and the mark came over. Surprisingly, all that Tanjiro has done before that, the mark didn't appear, which was crazy. You can see that Tanjiro is clearly Hashira level. Of course, Akaza's backstory, then is one big chunk of the moment of Akaza is his backstory. And one thing that also surprised that is not really showcased in the series was Akaza doesn't eat women, thanks to the backstory, because he had a lover, and the backstory was really well done, beautiful. And I can't say anything, it's just beautiful. And it's so justified why Akaza is the way he is in terms of like why he became a demon, because his life was already tough, and then he had found 2 people where he can be happy. He was about to get married, and then people who are just frustrated because they are weaker than him just poison his master and his freaking wife. Freaking sick. And also in the movie, also what I've seen a lot of people say is it almost looks like Giyuu did almost most of the work. Of course, especially the fight with Giyuu vs Akaza was so much longer than I feel like than Tanjiro vs Akaza, or when they both fight together against Akaza. But it was almost more equally, they both had equal parts when it comes to fight. But I can't really complain anything. It was freaking phenomenal. The fight was freaking phenomenal. I can't complain. This is one of the best fights in anime, like animation wise. Yeah, in anime. Let's talk about the animation. And what can I say? It's phenomenal, superb, unparalleled sky rendering, and ultimate. The animation was phenomenal. There's no complaints. I mean, Demon Slayer use CGI a lot, right? And the thing is, they use really good CGI. It looks phenomenal, and especially with the castle, you can see the difference so much. And I feel like what Reversible does so well is with the CGI animation so good. It looks like can be very convincing. Real example, when Tanjiro and Tengen fought was in the red light district, the flames while CGI, it looks almost real. Or Tanjiro fought against the upper moon, I forgot, in season 4 in the Sword Village. There's a moment where Tanjiro fight and you can see the sky. The sky looks real, legit. It looks like someone recorded the sky and then put it in the anime. And also, one thing that's really stands out with the animation of Reversible is, example, in this movie, the CGI, it has like so much incredible depth to it, and the colors, the vibrant colors, in Ufotable, you can see also in Tales of or God of Sinners, or especially in Fate Stay Night, the colors, the colors are so bright, so vibrant. It's almost like neon-like, but it stands out. It's not too much, everything, but it stands out. The colors is so vibrant, and the depth is so dark, and it gives a big contrast that stands out so well. And yeah, the lighting, especially lighting in Demon Slayer, like Ufotable does, is so amazing. And I said it before one time, if Ufotable would have done a horror anime, it would have been so crazy, because their understanding of lighting, the depth, the shadow is so freaking phenomenal compared to other series I've seen. It's just chef kiss, there's nothing else I can say. The pacing, to me personally as a manga reader, I felt like the pacing was perfect. The movie was surprisingly 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and it went by surprisingly faster than I thought. Because the thing is, it had everything went so well. I was never bored or felt like it was too long or anything. So yeah, that's why I'm surprised when I saw people talking about the pacing was bad, and I don't understand why. Because of course we get to see the backstory, a flashback of particular characters in a movie. Of course everybody wants just to fight, but I don't think it would make sense if the backstory of any character were shorter. Because Akaza, it makes sense why it is. We get to understand Akaza more and why he is and this character and everything. And I felt like it was perfectly fine. Everything fits perfectly. Everything fit perfectly together, and were not too long or too short to me. And I don't understand what could have done with the pacing. Was the pacing too fast or too long and to stretch out? Like, what should have they? I don't understand. For people who had an issue with the pacing, please explain it to me. Should have removed the backstory, but then they would not make sense to any other characters, like conclusion or like depth or why they think like that. Example with Zenitsu. Imagine they removed the backstory. Of course, we know a little bit the relationship with Kaigaku and Zenitsu, but if they would have removed it, it would have not been that a heartfelt moment at the end when Zenitsu saw his grandson sort of in the afterlife, or where he was apologizing. Or with Akaza, imagine they should have put the back of Akaza early on before the fight, then it would have been not as impactful. Or if they would have came in the next movie, or they would remove the thing, Akaza would have been, oh wow, he's evil, that's it. Some people would be fine, but that would have been horrible. And why he's like that, because constantly with honor, fighting spirit and everything. But yeah, explain to me if you have an issue, like why with the pacing, and how it should have been dealt in your opinion. The music, freaking phenomenal. I can't say anything really. The movie was so good. The music was incredible, and we have the themes by my both beloved artists, Amy and Lisa. Both of them contributed already songs with the anime, especially Lisa. She did the first opening and the first opening of the movie, of the first Demon Slayer movie, and she did also again the first opening of the adaptation of the Mugen Train movie. And Amy did the second season Sankyu, the Red Light District arc opening, and they did also the themes again, freaking phenomenal. And the OST for each fight was also good. The one that really stood out to me personally was the OST of Zenitsu. It was freaking phenomenal. I can't go further because it was freaking phenomenal. The ending itself for the movie itself was the ending when Tanjiro, Giyuu, and Giyuu defeat Akaza, and we see all the other characters' reaction to the scene, hearing that Tanjiro won defeating Akaza. That was really wholesome, and also at the same time this was really a hype ending, as we get to see the reaction of Akaza and not Akaza, Kokushibu, Upper Moon 1, and Doma, Upper Moon 2, and the reaction of him losing, and in a good way. And personally, this is how the movie should have ended.
Here's how the Demon Slayer movie could have been even better. If they had played the second movie immediately after it finished, and then played the third immediately after that.
Moving on, and yeah, moving on, and I'm excited for the second movie that will come in 2 years' time. While it's 2 years' time, it's kind of crazy if you think about it, but still, I think it's more realistic compared to in 1 year time, because the budget of the movie is 20 million. The animation was crazy. Of course, It made 500 million back, I think, by the by this sales of stuff of the movie. But still, kind of crazy. We need to wait 2 years, but it's fine. Now we got to see probably the fight between Doma and the fight. We get to see character fighting Doma and the character fighting Kokushibu. I won't say who it is. And also we get to see one character, one mysterious character. It's not really mysterious. We have seen him. We have seen him before, but we get to see more of him and more of the story and how the Demon Slayer world work and everything. So really interesting. We get to see him further. But yeah, in general, the movie was 9.5 out of 10. There's no complaints. I wish the only thing is maybe Zenitsu fight was a bit longer, but besides that, I don't have any complaints. What do you think of Demon Slayer? Write down in the comments below what do you think of the movie. Are you excited for the part 2? What do you think could have been better? Is there any complaints? And write down in the comments below any other ideas that I should talk about anime and everything. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. May God bless you all. Don't forget life is shorter, and peace.